Στο Αλμύρα γεύεσαι κυριολεκτικά τη θάλασσα. Τίποτα δεν είναι τυχαίο εκεί. Το Αλμύρα θεωρείται από τα καλύτερα στην Κύπρο και η φήμη του έχει ξεπεράσει τα εγχώρια σύνορα, με χιλιάδες κόσμο να το επιλέγουν και να τον πιστεύονται για τη διαμονή τους, εκπροσωπώντας μας επάξια στο εξωτερικό. Για μένα κύριο λόγο παίζει η αρχιτεκτονική, η οποία γεμίζει με ενέργεια το χώρο και με απόλυτο σεβασμό με το τοπίο σε κάνει να μην θέλεις να φύγεις. Mr. Radu, Stefan, Mitroi, thank you so much for your invitation at the Almira Hotel.
With pleasure.
There is an amazing and great story about this hotel. Can we talk a little bit about it?
You know, the Almira, you mentioned that we are at Almira, but we're also next to the Almira.
Exactly.
So Almira, it's something that, you know, it comes around and it wraps around you. And it actually puts you in that, I would say, bubble that we all like to be when we go on vacation. And the Almira has a history that goes back to 1973.
Amazing.
And you know, 1973 was a significant year in the Cypriot history, which wasn't a positive one from one hand. So I think even more than that, the opening of the Almira was more significant because it happened right after the Turks came into Cyprus, and it's a positive star, I would say, that opened back then and gave also some hope to a better future here. What's nice about Almira, and you won't see it, I think, anywhere in the world, if you look at the hotel from the outside and you look at the architecture of the hotel, and I have a picture in my office from the hotel from 1974, a year after it was opened. The architecture stayed exactly the same. And we've been evolving so much ever since in architecture and all kind of influences from all over the world and trends, but it stayed the same. And not only that it stayed the same, it's up to date.
Exactly.
Now, 2021.
Yes. For me and for a lot of travelers actually, they choose a hotel of its architecture, thought of it to visit it.
I agree, and something important that you said, you mentioned a revolution or a revolutionary hotel.
Yes.
I think this hotel went through two revolutions. One,
yes,
when it was built back in the 70s. And again, it was a work of art that was kept up until today. And in 2003, the Almira, which was known as Paphos Beach Hotel, transformed again.
Exactly.
And it transformed into a design hotel, which design hotel has many meanings, and we can talk about it a bit through our conversation, but it had another revolutionary idea that changed the way that the hotel thinks, breathes, and provides its services. And I think also it was maybe at the time, both times, maybe also in the 70s and also at the beginning of the 2000s, ahead of its time.
Yes.
Because it did take a bit of time for it to pick up and to become what it is today.
The family Thanos group, and they've chose then at the first, when they've changed the name, their whole philosophy, the whole concept, but they kept the architecture, which is again important. They chose one of the most and best interior architects, Joel Pleo, which as far as I know, also last year put her touch for some redecorating. She has created an atmosphere here which is unforgettable, which is, how I'm gonna say it, a modern Mediterranean retreat. Isn't it correct?
I would say so. The collaboration with Joel, I think that the most important thing is that the Michailidis family brought the idea to life, and you know, back then to open a hotel, the hotel, if you look at the colors are very bright, white. To open a white hotel retreat, I mean, whoever thought about such thing? But it worked, and Joel crafted this whole thing into this idea of concept of being able to come and find yourself in every niche of the hotel. But not only that, all the materials that we see here were done by local craftsmanships.
Yes.
Nicosia, Limassol, Paphos, so there's a lot of respect. With all the modern and the design, there's a lot of
some
respect.
design pieces
There's
came
a lot
from
of
abroad.
respect to the local Cypriot heritage here in the hotel.
That was her philosophy or was asked by the family?
By the family.
Which is very important,
Yes,
again,
yes. So,
yes.
once you walk into, we're talking about a hotel, but it's not really a hotel.
It's not a hotel.
Yes, it's a place where people come to connect with themselves, with their partners, with their family, and also with our team members. So this is the vibe, if we can call it, that also the designer and the family wanted to transcend and eventually to create the end product that will give you that feeling that you do come to a place, that you can immerse yourself into the place, into the surroundings, and eventually connect, because at the end of the day, once we go on that vacation that some people wait for it for a long time, you want to connect, because there's a lot of distractions these days.
How important is the design of Almira's, each room, in contribution to a guest philosophy?
Well, from the guests, first of all, once a guest, it starts earlier on. It starts when the guest is looking for a specific destination and he looks for a specific property to stay in, and then it goes through the website and the guest starts to get his impression of the hotel, and that builds up the expectations. But once the guests are coming in, especially after the multi-million euro renovation that we've done last year, and they walk into the rooms, I think the simplicity of the rooms actually and the color palettes are something that we get a lot of positive feedbacks from the guests, because most of the hotels these days are very, very busy in the rooms, and it's carpets and chandeliers and Siri and Apple and all kind of digitization. But we believe that the guests come to a hotel not to be able to connect to items, but again to connect to family and to the place. So I think that the rooms they do give you that possibility to connect to the place. As again, they're very minimalistic. You manage to be in the room itself, but also absorb the outside.
Almira is a part of a design hotel, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
How do you define a design hotel?
I think it's less of the physical aspect, although the design plays a major role, but it's about the service aspect and the ability of the place, of the space, to be integrated into the local community and to facilitate itself as a hub that gathers together, first of all, the local culture, food, the people that are around the hotels, neighborhoods. In design hotels, they say we are the neighborhood makers. And we are the neighborhood makers here. We do at the hotel a lot of art shows that are based only on local artists. We donate to local causes all around the city and all around Cyprus.
Yes.
We provide the spaces of the hotel to local and promote to local activists, to local artists, to local creators, in order for them to be able to use the hotel and have a place. It's not a matter of money, because we don't charge for it.
Of course, yes.
So it's a matter to have a space for people, and here we get to the connect again, to be able to come and connect. So a design hotel is a place where the guest checks in, and the first question when he goes to the concierge, to the front desk, usually he'll say, hey, tell me, where do the local people go? Because nobody wants to be in a touristic place, everybody wants to hang out with the locals. The way that you know that you got to the right place or to a design hotel, where the concierge will tell you, here, right here, go to Uzeri, that's where the local people go. Go to Notios, go to the Almira Spa, go to Ozon. So the guest feels that the city is in the hotel and the hotel is in the city. So that's what I believe is a design hotel.
What makes Almira unforgettable and memorable?
The landscape of Almira, the sections that the hotel is built within, where everybody can find his own niche, and where even when the hotel is full, you don't feel as it's overcrowded. I think that you see many places around the hotel and you see people collecting memories. You see them laying around the infinity pool at Ozon. You see them laying around in the spa. You see someone playing tennis. You see someone playing volleyball. You see the kids playing at the playground. You see someone enjoying a sushi at Notios. You see someone enjoying a local Cypriot dish at Uzeri. You see someone at the heated pool. You see someone at the cold pool. The memories that people take from this place can be very, very personal, and also in some ways even not connected to the person which is right next door to you. So you can come as a couple to the Almira and you can enjoy the all adults hideaway here at Ozon. So you take this memory with you. You can come with kids and you enjoy the kids club and you enjoy the kids menus and we enjoy the kids activities. So this is another type of memory. So I believe that from Almira, through its design, which gives everyone a place to find him or herself, everybody crops a different piece of Almira, a different memory.
What is the atmosphere here at the hotel? I mean, throughout a day, from the time you wake up in the morning till the time you go to bed.
In terms of atmosphere, it's very chilled, relaxed, laid back, Mediterranean atmosphere. The hotel has the ability, and we see it on our market mix, to attract guests. And as you said, the hotel is built in niches, so it can attract solo travelers, couples, families or young families. I would say the hotel tends more to attract, I would say, younger crowds, 18, 20, up until, I would say, 45, 48, 50s, young families. And on the other side of the scale, which is something which is more of a world trend, I believe, you would see 70, 75 plus. It's people that completed their, or somewhere at the end of their life cycle.
Do we see these ages during the peak period of the...
Less on the peak period in the hotel, but they come in months which are, I believe, the best months of the year. They come in May or in September.
September, October.
And you see the 72, 73, 75 people that are already over the idea of growing a family, and the kids grow up and the couple wants to travel the world and they go back to their old selves. They're looking for chic hotels, nice destinations. So you see a mix of that as well. But mostly, I would say, young families also care about the way the hotel looks and feel, and not only about the destination or about the cost of the hotel, which yes, it is an element, but some people would rather travel once a year and go to a specific place than travel 3-4 times a year and go to some places that they need to compromise on.
What makes Almira an original destination, and how important is the name to its own brand?
Yes. Almira, it's not a hotel. Almira is a space.
Yes.
The concept of Almira originated as a destination from its facilities. And I mean, if you take the Almira Spa, which works on amazing brands, vegan, vegetarian brands, that are plant-based or algae-based. If you go to Notios, which is Mediterranean fusion and has amazing Pan-Asian food and sushi, of course, or even if you go to Uzeri, which is Greek fusion, I would say, the dishes that are served there are based on Cypriot original traditional dishes, yes, but they're totally different. Yes. So the Uzeri is different, the Notios is different, the Spa is different. So you go to that destination that provides this original concept or product of service. And of course, then you meet in design, and then you meet the rooms and everything else. So I think this is what makes it a destination. You asked about the name.
Yes.
And I think a name has a very, very strong power of attraction, or something that can ignite your imagination, and sometimes a name just fits. Almira we're edges from the sea, you know.
We are sitting, actually, I have to say that we are at Kimma Suite.
Correct.
And we are just 2 meters from the sea.
Correct.
We can hear the sound.
We can hear the sound.
Clearly, yes.
So Almira, besides the fact that it's a beautiful name, it's a catchy name, but once you dive into it and you understand that there's a lot of thinking, not only for the design and not only for the products and the service and the offering of the hotel, but also with the name purifies the essence of what we're talking about here.
What authentic local experience will your guest have access to from here?
Well, we I have to say, up until a few years, we used to have our guests coming in to the concierge, guest services, and asking for local experiences, and we used to use local vendors or local suppliers, but we did a change in the recent couple of years, and we curated experiences that are unique only to us, to Almira, so you can experience them only if you stay with us, and these experiences are all based on traditional food, culinary, winemakers, authentic places, amazing villages. You can go and harvest with a local farmer depending on the season of the year. You can harvest potatoes or onions, or you can go to Vunipanaya and go to the winery up in the mountains and see how they prune the vine leaves. Or you can, you talked a bit about arts, and it's something that we do here. We have a collaboration with a few art studios, locals, that we do also art shows with them, pottery, yes. But not only that, and we send the guest to the art studio that their specification is metal, bronze, and gypsum, and they create with the artist their memories. We try to curate these experiences to something which is very local, very authentic, and something that you will not be able to experience anywhere else.
There is an amazing chapter here at Almira, the spa.
The Almira Spa, which actually was built after the Almira became the Almira.
Yeah.
In 2003, the spa opened in 2008.
Yeah.
Besides the approach, if it's the holistic approach or the physio approach, the brands that are embedded into the spa, if it's Osea, for example, which is an amazing brand based on seaweeds that are extracted from Mexico Bay, and then brought to Malibu, California, and then being sent here, which is 100% vegan, through Anastasia Achilleos treatment, which is amazing, QMS, which is a whole different active based material. So I think that the brands that are here is something that can approach to people that are looking for something very, very natural, something which is very, very, I would say, good for their physical well-being, but also mental well-being. Or on the other side, guests that are looking for something which is more active in its reaction. And we have, at the end of the day, we can talk a lot about the spa and the design of the spa and the brands, yes. But at the end of the day, we have a great team.
From Anasa to Almira and Annabelle, your staff is amazing.
That's nice to hear.
Yes.
That's
honestly.
nice to hear.
That's why people choose. It's a reason choosing the hotels of the Thanos Group.
I'll tell you something about my team members. Having a hotel with philosophy, strategy, the right design, the right concept, the right offering, and then the right marketing and commercial channels will manage to bring the guest in.
Yes.
For the first time.
Yeah. Then.
Memory of the guest or whatever will eventually be decisive if the guest will come back.
Yes.
is the team, of course.
What are the surprising things that inspires your work?
Well, every day is a surprise. You know, my wife, she still can't believe why I love my job so much. And you know, I said job, but it's not a job, because whenever my wife calls and says, "Where are you?" I never say at work, or I never say I go to work. I'm at the hotel. I'm at Almira. It's a lifestyle, and it's very dynamic. Every day when you come to Almira, it's a different day. You have your daily schedule or daily routine, and everything gets turned upside down. Eventually there's almost 200 rooms here, about 180-200 team members, 300-400 guests, everyone with his own wheels and needs. And at the end of the day, yes, you have your daily routine touch points, but in between, anything can happen and anything does happen.
It's amazing because you left Tel Aviv 5 years ago.
Yes.
You landed to Paphos. I mean, from Tel Aviv to Paphos, it's a cultural...
it's a cultural shock. It's a cultural shock, yes. But we came from Tel Aviv. My wife came from London to Tel Aviv, and that's where we met, and we moved here. And suddenly we live in Paphos. And at the beginning it was very odd, but I have to tell you, and if you'll ask my wife now, she'll tell you the same thing. We don't want to live not in Tel Aviv and not in Paris and not in New York. Really? And no, Paphos is an amazing place, amazing place. You wake up in the morning, you hear nothing but the birds. The sea is always right in front of you. So much history, so much culture, and it's evolving. It just keeps evolving. And I believe it has its authentic charm that still continues with the place, and also the people are amazing. You know, us Israelis and Cypriots are much alike, so yeah, we love it here.
Thank you so much. Mr. Michailidis, father, knew what he was doing years ago, choosing Paphos.
No, definitely.
For each hotel.
Well, he was, I didn't get to meet him, but I can only say from what I'm seeing here, not only about Almira, but also about Anasa, he was a visionary.
Yes.
He was a visionary. He saw miles ahead.
And thank God the family still,
yes.
They keep that soul and the energy alive, which is very important for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much
for your time. I know it was very important for you, stealing your time. And I hope we see you soon. Keep doing this beautiful and amazing job as you did now, and giving us, you know, the pleasure and the wellness we need.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I will wait for your next visit.
For sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.